南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛. That means homage to our fundamental law or our respected teacher, Sakyamuni Buddha. Okay, so this is the book. So you can see it is a collage of many little pictures, and these pictures, these photos are all taken by me. I love photography, but I'm not a very good photographer. Actually, I'm not a photographer at all. Some of these books some of these pictures are taken by cell phones, and some are taken by big heavy cameras, but it doesn't really matter. So the first is called Way to Home. Way to Home. And why do I use... Okay, let us look at... we'll talk about Way to Home later. Okay, so what is home? What is home in your mind? What does it represent? Bear in mind, this is very interactive. Are we going to continue with this book? Depends on tonight. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Everybody is unmuted, so you can actually talk whenever you want to and turn on your mic. Laurie is the first one. Great. Very. Just a minute. Let us turn the volume up first. Go ahead.
The first thing I think of when I think of the word home, I think of safety and security.
Very good. That was actually my wife from Hong Kong actually typed into the chat room is safe. So safety and what?
Security.
Security. Okay, safety and security. All right, good. Safety and security. Who else? Jeremy. Jeremy, you actually...
I'm trying to really think of what home means to me, and I think the biggest thing is growing up. I think of home as family. I don't think home much anymore, as in being home. Home to me is wherever I am.
Okay.
So when I think home, I think of being a child. So I guess that security is part of that, right? Being a child, family. That's what comes up when I'm thinking about it.
Ah. Okay. All right. Anybody else? I think Irene just put up her hand.
Yes.
Okay, Irene, then Versha. Okay, Irene first.
Shelter.
Say that again.
Shelter.
Shelter. Yeah, shelter. Good. Okay. Versha?
Yeah, I thought of safety as well, but following that, I thought about connections.
That means relationships, eh? Connections, relationships.
Connections to whether it's the land or the people or any sort of connection.
Okay, good, very good. Okay, Mali?
I feel home is where I'm relaxed and comfortable, and I have my family.
Yeah, relaxed, comfortable, and you have your family. So, very good. Jonathan? Is that Jonathan?
Yeah.
Jonathan, you unmute yourself. Jonathan, unmute. There you go.
Whenever I think of the place where my parents live, even though I haven't lived there for
Long
many,
time.
many decades.
I see. Okay. So,
But I still think of home as my place of origin.
oh, okay. Ah. So you don't consider the place that you're living at home? Not right now?
No,
I see. Okay.
no.
Ah.
But it's strange. I don't consider I don't consider the place where my parents lived home either, but it's synonymous with home for me. When I think of home, I think of the place where my parents reside.
Okay. Is that then is there a reason because your parents bring you up and you grow up there and you know you spend a childhood there and possibly some siblings and that's why you call that home and you don't call the place that you are staying.
Correct.
I see. Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Where
Great.
I
Yeah.
live is my home, but when I think of home, I do think of my
Your
place
parents.
of origin. Yes.
I see. I can. Okay. Good. Well, there's nothing wrong. All right. It's your own feeling, right? It's your own interpretation, your experience. Okay. Anybody
right.
else? Yeah. Anybody else?
I
Titania.
think of home as
Okay. Who?
oh,
Oh, Craig. Hey, long time no see.
yeah, I know. It's been too long. It's nice to see you.
See you. Good.
I feel home here.
Oh.
I think for me, that home is a sense of belonging, a place where I'm not longing to be, but where I feel like I belong.
Ah, wow, that's nice. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so you can be somewhere else you're not familiar with, but you belong there and you consider that home, right? Yeah. Yeah, great. Thank you. Wonderful. That's nice. We can actually all gather all these comments and make a book. What is home? Okay. Anybody else? Titania.
Yeah, some place that I could regain my energy and replenish my soul.
I see.
Some place is very safe.
Yeah.
And I could regain my breath.
I see. Oh, that means it's very safe and you can allow yourself to feel vulnerable and you can actually replenish your energy and everything. That's great. Good. You see, that scare in the beginning of the talk is actually very good. It's working so well. Scary. But anyway, anybody here in the hall want to comments about home?
I said something about, I think it was it Jonathan that was talking about how it's his parents?
Yeah.
Because we came as refugees, so
Can you guys hear Eva talking? Oh, no, somebody's...
It's a little bit.
You come over.
Thank you.
Yeah, come over here. Somebody's dog is barking.
Can you tell the audience to mute when they're not talking?
Okay. Could you please mute your mic after you finish talking? Because otherwise we will hear your cats, your dogs, and your people.
Thank you, Sifu.
Yeah.
So, because we came here as refugees, so it was always. I think it's okay now. Yeah. Can they hear? Yeah. So home was always like back home.
Oh,
so it was always
Slovakia.
Slovakia. That's how we always talk. Back home it's like this, or back home it's like that.
I see.
But it changed when Kwok and I had kids. Then it wasn't back home anymore. It's like more of what everybody else is saying. But until then it was
Slovakia.
back there somewhere.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Kwok, what about Vietnam?
Vietnam, I really don't have any affiliation.
You don't consider it home, right? No,
Yeah, no.
because you were too small when you actually came out. Yeah. Ivy, yes.
I feel, because I've been living with the family, where I'm from Hong Kong and in Canada.
Yeah.
I feel I have my own home until we move out to Richmond, because it is like it's the home that I could have decision on how it looks like or whatever. So this is what I feel this is my home now.
I see.
Because if I always live with my family, and then they have to control
Yes.
on how it is. So
Yeah.
but I like it. I like.
So
I
you,
like it
yeah.
here.
So you have
So
the,
because
you can control, you can have your own wish being fulfilled in the
Yeah.
place that you own, rather than living with a family and you don't have any choice, you don't have any say, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
living with them, I learn a lot too.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's good. Well, somebody from Facebook say, home is where you are when you can sit in contemplation, and the answers that you seek come from within. Wow, who's this? Who's this? Oh, I see. Okay. But anyway, it's good. KS, good. KS, unmute yourself, please. Yes.
I would say home has a wider sense where you can, which is a place where you can seek help.
I see.
You can share your happiness, your sadness, or whatever, and then you gain support of your family member, or say like Poland is a bigger family where you support from the seafoods.
Yeah.
It has a wider sense than just like a normal
Householder home.
Yeah. That's what I interpret.
You must be very, very fortunate to have the family and everybody to support you while you are sad and to enjoy with you while you're happy. You are very fortunate man. Thank you. It's great. It's lovely to have this all this sharing. So this the book, the name of the book is called Way to Home. Way to Home is actually I feel that this is the message of this book, is bringing you home. But you can see when we talk about home, we do have our different perspective of what is called home, right? And the first picture, besides the first picture of actually I should have put down the this one first. Well, I should have put down this one first. Yeah, this is the actually the first picture I put down is the. Oh, sorry. I can go off now. Sorry. Bye. Good night. This is the second time. I think last week it happened too, right? Yeah. So, okay. So this is the plaque, Poland Buddhist Association in Chinese, written by Sifu, by my teacher in 1995. And it is the plaque that we hang up outside this little Dhamma hall. I should have put that picture up. Next week I'll put that. I can't promise you whether I'm going to do this next week. So, but anyway.
I can share the thing now.
Oh, you can share it now?
I can share the link. Yeah, they can tap it and
what link?
WeChat.
Oh, WeChat link. Not everybody has the WeChat. But anyway.
No need. They just tap. It's okay.
Okay, but the first picture actually I put in, besides the name of the association of Polam, is this picture here. So anybody can tell me where is this? Huh? Where is this? Type it in, please. What is this? Or this? Okay. This is chat. Polam. Who said that? Irene? Oh, Nora, yeah. Looking from which side? Nora have to think.
Where it says field looking at the hall.
That the field looking at the hall. Which side? From the north, east, west, south? West, yes, west, yes, from the west side. No, west side. West side. You see that little corner hiding in the trees? That's the Dhamma hall. That's that side of the Dhamma hall, the shed side of the Dhamma hall. And why would I use such a picture? The first picture in this book is because for now, Polam is my home. For now, I wouldn't know what will happen in the future, but at least now, I considered Polam to be home. When I first came here, I never take this Canada as my home because I never wanted to come back here. I know I'm sorry, but when I did my undergraduate in the East Coast, it wasn't the most pleasant experience. It was very tough few years. Because I was a very poor student, and I did not have much support financially. I had enough support from the family to actually barely make ends meet every month. So it was very difficult, and it was really just for the sake of finishing my study, and I did finish my study. In the East Coast. If anybody comes from East Coast, actually I did my first degree at Western Ontario, University of Western Ontario, which I loved. It's a wonderful university. I had made some very good friends, but I wasn't used to the weather. I was very alone, and because I didn't have much money to spend, so I never go out. And when my classmates went out to Toronto, sometimes during weekends, they wanted me to go with them. I said, oh, no. Because, people carpool with you, and then they go to dim sum, yam cha, the Chinese tea. They always give me a treat, but, I feel bad because I can treat them back because, for dim sum yam cha with 4 people, it could cost up to $20 at that time in the 70s. And $20 is my 1 week rent. And every week was, how much I spent on my food? $5. $5. So I ate a lot of bananas because bananas at that time was very cheap, 10 cents a pound, and it's filling, right? So a lot of bananas. So it wasn't the most desirable experience. So, and the weather was very cold. Never had snow boots. Too expensive. So I was wearing runners all throughout the winter. And I remember when I was in my final year, I needed to hand in my essay. And the evening before that, I went back to my home, which was a half basement, and dug into my books and finish off that essay. Next morning, get up at 6:30, had my breakfast, and said, hey, how come I didn't see anything through my little window? I had because it's a half basement, so I had 2 windows like this. I couldn't see anything. When I opened the curtain, I couldn't see anything. Normally, I could see a little bit of grass. Then I went upstairs trying to open the door because I used the back door. I opened a screen door and tried to push the main door out, couldn't open. So I went up to ask the landlady, what happens? I couldn't open the door. She says, we are snow in. I said, snow in? No, I needed to hand in my essay, otherwise I can't graduate, right? And graduation is a big thing for me so that I can go back home and work. Go back home to Hong Kong to work. And my landlady said, there's no way that you can go out today. I said, no, I needed to hand in my essay. I said, is there anything? I didn't know that they will make announcement on the radio. And even the landlady said, well, the university hasn't announced anything. I said, what announcement? Oh, they will say, oh, because of a snowstorm, a blizzard, they will close. I said, then that means I need to go and hand in. And my landlady is a very nice lady. She said, I think so, but I can't give you a ride. I said, I said, I'm not asking you for a ride, but she said, because my car is snowing also. The snow was like on top of her car. But luckily, the road, the house the room that I rented from the lady was really in a good area, not far from the university, only half an hour walk. And it was plowed. So I walked and I slipped. I walked and I slipped because with runners, right? And I went to hand in my essay and my professor said, you are here handing in your essay? I said, yeah, because I wanted to graduate. So never had it was a nice 4 years. I learned a lot, of course. To become even more independent. But anyway, never expected to come back to Canada until my teacher said, my sifu said, you go to Canada to establish this place in Chilliwack. I said, what can I say? I cannot say no, right? But I never considered Po Lam in Canada my home yet, never. I didn't have that feeling. Home is a place, as you say, being safe, secure, and you can relax and you can replenish energy and you can share happiness, you can share sadness. It seems that when I came here, it was like work, 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 and more work, and more work. Completely new place, strange, and with a strange outlook, because I was 2 years into my monkhood at that time, 1994. I was only 2 years old as a nun, and didn't know anybody here, and away from my teacher, away from my mundane family. It was difficult. It was very difficult. And I was just telling KS today about cutting the lawn. So it was very difficult in the beginning, but it all came through. Only about 10 years, maybe 8 or 10 years ago, can't remember. One day I came back from Hong Kong from an overseas trip. And I normally flew in with a red-eye flight, but that day I took a day's flight and I arrived to Vancouver at daytime. Can't remember who picked me up, I couldn't remember. And we were driving through what was that bridge? Across from is that Oak Ridge? Oak Ridge Bridge? Arthur Link Bridge?
From the airport?
From the airport. Arthur Link Bridge, yeah. And I looked around. It was bright, sunny day, blue sky, beautiful clouds. And the maple leaves were turning red. I said, oh, I'm home. I'm home. All of a sudden, that home feeling just warms me up so much. I'm home. Maybe the trip was really tiring, so I felt that I could come home to rest. So now, at least for now, since then until now, I've always considered Poland my home. Nobody knows what about the future, who knows. And then the passage that goes with this picture is, the real home lies within all of us, a home with great wisdom and compassion. So, what I'm talking about in this picture with this passage is home. Way to home is not way to a physical home. It's really way to a mental home. A physical home could be very cozy, could be very comfortable, or could be very small and crowded, like when we were young. When we were very young, we lived in very crowded environment, like 100 square feet room, a room with 8 of us in there. That was called a big room. We called that a home when we were little. So you call home is the place where you can feel sad, or you can share sadness, happiness, or your parents' home, or where you grow up. So I want to dissect this home with all of you tonight and see where we go. Okay? So I want to share with you, this is the Chinese word of home. This is the Chinese word of home. And you all know Chinese word actually derived from pictures or drawings, not pictures, drawings. So every stroke or a combination of strokes have their own meaning. Okay? So it's very unlike the English language. It's just very simple and straightforward. But Chinese words are very, very expressive in its layout. Okay, so ga, or we're going to call home. So it's made up by 2 parts. First part is the top part. This is like the highlight roof in the picture. A roof. There is a roof. Okay? And that means you can feel safe and secure, right? You can, at least when there's rain, you won't get wet, right? You can hide under the roof. And I see from my condo, I can see a lot of homeless trying to find a roof, someplace with a roof to sleep at night. And across from me is that little street mall with a very big overhang, with the eco shop with a very big overhang, and there is a homeless a man always sleep there. He's dry there because there is a roof. Okay, protects him from the rain. And the bottom part is a boar. B-O-A-R, a boar, a pig. A pig. So these 2 words made up, we call it a home. Or And why would a roof with a bore means home? We trace back. Okay, Jeremy.
Because the boar found safety under the roof. That's what kind of strikes me at it.
Okay, all right. You know, in the old days, man and boar lived in the same house. In the old days in China, big house, and the boar lives over there. Now there are still some homes like that, and yeah, the boars and the pigs are in the house running, not as pets. And also, the roof with a boar, roof is physical shelter. Boar or pig represents food, exactly. Food. That means when there is home, there is food. Right? You won't get hungry, or you will be safe. So it is actually a very a descriptive word to look at this. So in the Chinese, this we call it 家 或者家廣東話 Cantonese. It's not just home. We can call family. We can call family members. We add things behind this word. So we add a man behind, it becomes family members. We add 庭 becomes one family. And so we add a lot of words behind this jar after this Chinese words. For example, if we add a word village in Chinese, it means that is where I was born or where my ancestors were, like Slovakia, 家鄉, right? And if we add the word tribe, Chinese word tribe, after this word, it means a big tribe. Okay? And so it's actually, this word can mean a lot of things. Okay? It's not just home, but home is one of it. But inside home, we can actually have so many branches of things that branch out. Okay? So home is actually a place where we can nourish ourselves, where we can actually protect ourselves, we can feed ourselves. And when you look at this beautiful word in Chinese, it actually gives you how does it feel to be inside this home. You feel safe, you feel fulfilled physically, stomachically. But what I mean in this book, Way to Home, is not that home. It's really nothing to do with that physical home. It's all about this mental home. So when you say that, yes, you feel safe, you can replenish your energy, you feel secure, and you feel that it is where I grow up, there must be some really beautiful memories in there. Okay? Or your parents, that means you are thinking about your parents, you're grateful that your parents bring you up, hopefully. So that is mental, that is your mental home there. So the real home really lies within all of us. So how do you see this passage? The real home lies within all of us. A home of what? The real home lies within all of us, a home with great wisdom and compassion. So how do you interpret this? A home with great wisdom and compassion. How do you interpret this, and how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself having such a home? Okay, Jeremy. Then Nora.
I like these lines. They really kind of illustrate, I guess, a bit of what I was trying to say to begin with, because home goes everywhere we go. It's that feeling inside of us.
Yes.
And we carry it with us.
Yeah.
So I really like these few lines because they're really making me introspective at the moment.
Good. Yeah, you cannot carry around your physical home, right?
No, but you can take that with you.
Exactly. I mean the physical home. The physical home. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good. Nora?
I was going to say the first line, the real home lies within us, is what I first thought is it's your perception. Everything's about your perception. You know, like to one person that might be a dump, to you it might be, you know, your home.
Yeah.
So it's what you make of it and what you think of it. But I also thought when you read the whole passage, maybe you're talking about the Buddha Dharma, or inner nature.
The Buddha nature, yeah, right, yeah. Good. Okay, great, thank you. Anybody else? Varsha, yes? Varsha?
So this reminds me of something else that I think I've heard you say from some readings, that we should be an island
Unto yourself.
And I think that if you practice correctly, you have correct understanding, and you can cultivate wisdom, then you have a kind of confidence and comfort. And that becomes kind of like you become your own island, and you can depend upon yourself to act accordingly.
Yes, good, wonderful, yes. Mali or Tissa? Yes.
I was going to say, it's from this lies within all of us. To me, it means it's up to us to make it happy or not, or comfortable or not. It's up to us to make it work.
Yeah, good. It's up to us to make it work. Make homes home.
I will say there's another way. Home is a place where hide our mind's experience. H-O-M-E.
Say that again. I can't hear. Can't hear very well. Mali, maybe you repeat what Tissa said to us.
What did it say?
Okay.
Did you hear it?
No. No.
Or what did you say? Plus H stands for hide, O for our, M is for mind, and E is for experience. So you hide your mind's experience.
You hide your mind.
H-O-M-E.
Oh, H-O-M-E. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Wow, you are very fast to interpret that home. Thank you. That's nice. That's a very nice insight. Like the turtle. I don't understand that, Jonathan. Can you explain that? Yes.
Yeah, like the turtle, he carries his home with him. He has security when he wants to. He can come out when he wants to. He is home in himself.
Okay. Yeah, he is home in his
shell.
Yeah, in the shell.
Comes
Yeah,
out of the shell.
yeah, in the shell. Yeah, okay. Irene and then Catherine. Irene.
It needs cause and conditions to make it happen.
In the cause and conditions to make a home happen.
Yeah, it needs cause and conditions.
Yes, to make a real home happen. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Thank you. Wonderful. Catherine?
What it is actually home is within ourselves. And that just triggered me that Buddhist teaching.
Yeah.
It's if we listen to them and then understand them and apply them to daily life, so everybody can be Buddha. So that's why this sentence, all this wisdom and compassion is within ourselves already. We just need to walk the path.
Yeah, good, wonderful. Anybody else? No? Well, yes.
It is
No, I don't think so. Nobody, right? Okay. All right. Yes, we could talk about how we can decorate our physical home. We can talk about how we're going to build our physical home. But really, what matters most is our mental home, that inside home that we all have. And the home, inside home, is actually, as the Buddha said, we all have it. All beings are equal in that sense. And what he meant is not that a dog is equal to a cat and a cat is equal to a human being. No. What he meant is the Buddha nature in a cat, or the Buddha nature in a dog, or the Buddha nature in a human are all equal. So we are all equal in that aspect, and the Buddha nature is the two very strong qualities are compassion and wisdom. So these two qualities actually are the essence of the home, of that mental home. And we all possess it. We all have it. But how come we don't consider this body our home? We consider this body is just, I shouldn't say that we don't consider this body a home. That is wrong. We always consider this body a home. Right? We always live in this body, live with this body. Sometimes we consider this body more than a home because we attach to this body so much. And we forget the real home is actually in the mind, in those qualities, in the qualities of wisdom, in the qualities of compassion, in that Buddha nature, not in this physical body. This physical body is finite. It disappears. It will die. It will get old. It gets sick, and it gets old, and it dies. But this compassion and wisdom will not die. I thought it was Goldie. It wasn't. Somebody's dog. Anyway. So it won't die. So this real home, what I meant is the real pure mind that we all have. Pure mind. That pure mind is made up with so many wonderful qualities, and some of them are compassion and wisdom and loving kindness and equanimity and generosity and acceptance and faith, and you can have a whole long list of that. So this is the Buddha nature, and this is that real home. But throughout cycles of rebirths and death, we forget more and more and more about this real home. Don't we? Yeah, we do.
So we're far away from home.
Yeah, who said that? Yeah, we are far away from home. The more we reach outside, the more we reach for the material world, the more we reach for the sensual world, the more we want from somebody else, the further we are away from this real home. And this real home cannot be given to us. Doesn't need to be given to us. We all have it. So this roof, this board are inside. And we carry it through eons of lives. But when would we make it a real home? That's what matters. Okay? So this real home actually has this infinite compassion and infinite wisdom in there. You look at the Buddha, that you can see he has an infinite home within him. And that is a home which is filled with all these paramis, wonderful paramis, all these perfections of positive qualities. And so if we really want to find a place we call it home, we really should stop looking from the outside. And we really should stop making a physical home the way we want it. Of course, it doesn't mean that I don't need to do my laundry, I don't need to vacuum. No, I don't mean that. I mean is we only need that much to live on. We could live a very simple life, but yet we could be very homey. We could live in a very simple place, but we could definitely feel that that is our home. In the I remember when I first ordained in 1992, and 2 days before I actually left my family home to go to the mountain, I met up with 3 of my good friends, colleagues, and 2 of them are physicians, and one of them was a dietitian, senior dietitian. So we had tea. We had tea in the evening, 2 days before. And so I announced to them, I am going to the mountain tomorrow morning. Because they had to work, so I only met them at like 6:30 or so in Hong Kong. And one of them, actually, we were very good friends. She was a woman, and very, very good friends. And we have a lot of common hobbies. And she said, "Really? You go to the mountain for what?" I said, "I am going to be ordained. I'm going to shave my head and to be a Buddhist nun." She always she always knew that I'm a Buddhist, and because I've been a Buddhist for a long time. before I decided to leave home. And she said, if you really go that way, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. She hated me. She hated me for doing that. And the other friend who is a man, and he said, you're crazy, said to her, you're wrong. She's making such a big decision. This is even bigger than a decision that we need to make to get married. You know, he said getting married is a big decision, and she's even making even a bigger decision. And you're wrong to tell her this. And I said, you know, it really doesn't matter whether you think that I'm wrong or right. It doesn't matter. I have made up my mind. It's not that you say that I'm not going to be your friend anymore. I'm going to change my mind. No, I said I'm very determined. I said, I'm sorry if I made you unhappy. But anyway, so then the next day I left. I left home to go up to the mountain, and then I became a nun. But she came to visit me. She came to visit me, I think, in the second month. It was, I was ordained on the 10th of May, 1992. And then I think she came in July, something like that. It was a really hot day. I mean, in Hong Kong, you know, hot and humid in the mountain. And she came, and I asked permission from my sifu and from the reception nun. I said, "Can I show my colleague where I sleep?" They said, "Yeah, sure." They were wondering why I wanted to show my colleague where I sleep. So I said, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to show you where I sleep. I have a wonderful spot in this whole monastery, you know, with a south window, have breeze." And she think I have a big bedroom, right? So I took her up, and there was a stairwell inside the Dhamma hall, going upstairs, you know, inside the chanting hall for the nuns. So went upstairs and turned around, and then went up, and right at the stairwell, that was my bed. I said, "This is my bed. This is my spot. Look, it's so secluded. It's at the end of the whole room." I have one bed, you know, that's like my bed is here. There's one bed here. There's one bed here. There's one bed here. So 4 beds. And then there are more beds at the end. So, and my bed is here like this. And this is the stairwell. Okay? So this is the stairwell. This is my bed. And the south window is over here. It was like breezy because I don't like heat, right? And I said, look, I have such a big mosquito net. So mosquito can get in. And she looked at me and she said, "This is where you sleep?" I said, "Not just sleep. This is where I read. This is where I do my calligraphy. This is where I write my letters. And this is where I study." And she said, "You only have a 3-foot wide bed." I said, "Yes, that's enough because I don't turn when I sleep. I don't turn in circles when I sleep. And you know, I don't need that much space." She said, "So where are you going to hang your clothes?" I said, "We don't hang clothes. We don't hang our clothes. We fold our clothes." And it was summer. I said, then I dragged out a big box on the bottom of below my bed. I said, and open it. It's a tin box. And made it with tin sheets, you know, or you call it aluminum. Yeah, aluminum. And I said, "You see, these are my winter clothes here." And this another one. This is my winter blanket here. Push it back in. I said, "These are my storage, my wardrobes here." And she looked at me. She said, "You're crazy." I happily lived there for 2 years until I came to Canada. So everything now here is luxury compared to what I had and compared to what we had when we were little. But it really depends on people's perspective. We can have thousands of things in our so-called home, but we may not be wise. We may not be kind. We may not be happy. We could have very little things at home, but we could be a very generous person. We could be a very kind person. We could be a very wise person. So it really depends on different perspective and how we actually perceive something that we call home. So the real home lies within all of us. So we need to find a way home. And this book is teaching us how to get home, because it's all from our meditation retreats that I have taught here and overseas, and those are all the teachings that come from there. Okay, that's for the night. So, how do you find it? I don't try to please me. Don't try to please me so that I will go on with this book. So you have to tell me. Okay. Jeremy? Continue.
It's made me thoughtful so far, so I'm enjoying it. I didn't know you had written a book until last week, so this is all new to me. I'm enjoying it so far myself.
Good, okay.
I agree. It gives us an opportunity to reflect in a different way. Yeah. And I really appreciate that, and I really enjoy listening to your stories as well.
Next time you have to tell your stories, not me telling stories all the time. Because every time I tell a story, and later on you said that I haven't told that story. But anyway, it meant to be really arousing your thoughts, reflective and interactive. It's really not just listening to me. I want to be really interactive and really, make you think and make you see different perspective. And also share our Chinese culture with all of you. It's not necessarily all the time there is, I can make share that Chinese culture, but still, Yes, Jonathan. Jonathan.
Very briefly, because we're wrapping up, I would like to share a very small story.
Sure.
On that note.
Yeah.
Years ago, I went to a school where I studied art, and I had a dead fly in front of me, and I enlarged him to the size of about a basketball. I painted him.
Oh.
And I put him in space over top of the earth, and I called this the geographical cure, because he wasn't dead anymore in my painting. He was very much alive.
Yes.
He was ready to come back and decide where he was going to be on the planet.
Oh.
So it was a kind of a representation of where I was at that, and wondering where I was going to end up on the planet, because I hadn't decided at that point.
I see.
It's called a geographical cure. Anyway, I just thought in the
interesting.
In the spirit of sharing a story, there we go.
Yeah, interesting. You were trying to find a home.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Huh.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, very
and
interesting.
So I was the fly.
You were the fly. Yeah. Good. Okay. So may these blessings extend to all, that we with all the other living beings together will attain the Buddha way. May we wish more and more people will find home, will find the way to home through encountering the words of the Buddha, studying them, understand them, practice them, and find their way home.